In a time of chaos, when lies dominate headlines and truth is buried beneath the noise of the modern world, a storm is rising, and from the eye of that storm emerge two unshakable forces, mysterious, divine, powerful. They are the witnesses, not just symbols, but real. Their presence is no metaphor, it is prophecy in motion. These two are unlike anything we've ever known. Their appearance shakes the very foundation of what it means to be alive in this era. This isn't just religion, it's revolution. When they speak, time listens. When they move, nations tremble. They are a beacon in this fading world, a last chance, a final warning, and the ultimate motivation for anyone seeking clarity amid chaos. 2. These witnesses were never meant to be ordinary. Chosen not for comfort but for courage, they were forged in silence and tested by the very fires that will consume the world. Their identity is not just a name, it's a mission. They carry within them the voice of warning, the thunder of truth, and the flame of resistance. They stand not for destruction, but for transformation. Their message, change or collapse, rise or vanish, awaken or perish. Every soul they reach has the choice to listen, to grow, to become the hero in their own story. You don't watch them to be entertained. You watch them to remember who you were born to be. 3. Imagine a world where the skies are darkened not by clouds, but by ignorance, where wars aren't fought just with weapons, but with lies. That's where they come in. The two witnesses don't arrive quietly. They are a divine alarm clock, ripping away the comfort of sleepwalking through life. They remind us that apathy is a weapon of mass destruction. Their power is not in spectacle, but in substance. Their eyes see beyond the surface, into the soul. They speak not to judge, but to awaken, and once you hear them, truly hear them, your excuses die and your real life begins. 4. The question is not, who are they? The real question is, what will you do once you know? Because knowledge without action is self-destruction. These two are not here to convince. They're here to confront. They stand before the abyss, not turning away, but daring you to look in and decide what kind of future you want. They don't preach fear, they ignite purpose. They don't beg for followers, they summon warriors, because this is not the end of the world. It's the beginning of the true one, the one where you stop blaming and start becoming. 5. Every generation gets a moment that defines it. This is ours. A divine pulse is shaking the earth, and these two are the heartbeat of that moment. They speak in a language older than time, truth, not polished, not sugar-coated, just raw, searing truth. And for those who dare to listen, they offer more than prophecy. They offer power, not the kind you see in movies, but the kind that lives within you, the power to rise from addiction, the power to overcome darkness, the power to live with courage in a cowardly world. They are mirrors showing us who we really are and who we still can become. 6. Their arrival isn't marked by trumpets, it's marked by transformation. Wherever they go, minds open, chains break, and destiny shifts. Because the apocalypse is not just an ending, it's a revelation, and revelations aren't meant to scare you, they're meant to wake you. These two are not ghosts of old scriptures. They are the pulse of a world gasping for clarity. They challenge kings and comfort the broken. They don't walk in temples, they walk in storms, and when they speak, the winds stop just to hear, because they're not just talking about the end, they're calling for a new beginning. 7. They aren't celebrities, they don't chase likes or views, but when they speak, the earth responds. Volcanoes rumble, oceans churn, and hearts burn with a fire that's been waiting to be lit. They were sent not to save us, but to remind us we can save ourselves. That strength isn't found in silence, but in standing up when it's hard. Their message is not wrapped in comfort, it's wrapped in challenge, and those who accept it begin to see the world differently. They walk differently, they speak with power, because once you've heard truth, you can't go back to pretending. 8. There's a reason these witnesses are feared by the powerful, because truth is the one weapon tyrants can't silence. And these two wield it like fire. They don't speak for popularity, they speak for the legacy of a future not yet written. Their very existence is rebellion against the systems that keep us asleep. Their every word is a spark in a dry forest. And if you let it, that spark will burn through your doubt, your excuses, your fear. They aren't here to do it for you. They're here to show you how to do it yourself. And that is the real apocalypse, the end of who you used to be. 9. Even as cities fall and headlines twist reality, these two remain unshaken, because they aren't bound by politics or trends. They are bound by truth, and truth has no expiration date. In a world that sells comfort, they sell clarity. In a world addicted to noise, they offer the silence that heals. They don't shout to be heard. They whisper to the soul, and their whisper is louder than any scream. You don't need to be ready. You just need to be willing. Because what they bring isn't an answer, it's an invitation to rise, to resist, to rebuild. 10. What if I told you the end of the world isn't destruction, it's decision, that the two witnesses aren't messengers of doom, but of destiny? You see, the apocalypse isn't about fire falling from the sky. It's about fire rising in your soul. These two are not actors in a script. They're catalysts. They awaken something ancient inside you, the part that remembers purpose, the part that craves justice, the part that refuses to kneel before lies. They don't want your worship. They want your awakening, and once you're awake, nothing will ever be the same again. 11. We were not born to live in chains of mediocrity. We were born to build, to battle, to become, but somewhere along the way we forgot. These two haven't. They are the echo of what we once were and the blueprint of what we still can be. They don't ask for applause. They demand action. And that's why they're dangerous, because their words are more than sounds. They're seeds. And if you plant them, your life will erupt with growth. But growth is painful. Change is war. And these two are the generals calling you to fight for the future you were promised. 12. Every legend begins with a voice, not loud, not polished, but real. These two voices have crossed centuries to find you, not to entertain you, but to challenge you, to burn away your apathy, to rebuild your vision, to remind you that the apocalypse isn't about monsters outside. It's about monsters within, and slaying them isn't just possible. It's your mission. They don't promise safety, but they promise strength. And that strength isn't in avoiding pain, it's in walking through it with purpose, because that's where heroes are forged. That's where history begins. 13. Most people live as if time is infinite. These two live as if every second is sacred. Because it is, their message is urgent not because they want fear, but because they value freedom. Every lie we believe is a chain. Every truth we accept is a key. They offer keys, not to unlock gates, but to unlock greatness. Your life isn't waiting for better luck. It's waiting for a better choice. And when you listen to them, you stop asking why me and start declaring why not me. Because destiny doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. 14. They're not waiting for approval. They're moving with authority. An authority not granted by man, but by meaning. Everything they say has weight, because they don't speak for ego. They speak for eternity. And in their words you find your own, not copied, not borrowed, but born. You begin to speak differently, to walk into rooms like you belong, to show up in your own life like you matter, because you do. You were not created to survive history. You were created to make it. And when they speak, that truth becomes undeniable. 15. This is not about religion. It's about revolution. Not the kind fought with swords, but with stories. The story of who you are, the story of what you're becoming. These two are not here to save you. They're here to show you that you were always meant to rise, to stand, to speak. You are not the audience. You are the next witness. And the moment you believe that, the apocalypse isn't an ending, it's your beginning.